Good morning, everybody. So, real quick, man, just wanted to talk to you about when the super empath meets the narcissist. A lot of times, this kind of can happen for a short stint, meaning it could be an empath that has been around this stuff for a long time. And will start to be waking up fully early on in the presence of a narcissist, starting with even the first date, but will kind of stay quiet. And so what happens is their intuition starting to wake up because they've been around these individuals for a couple of times now, 2 to 3 times in long-term relationships. And what happens is you start to see the same mold in somebody else. And when you start to see the same mold in somebody else, you're kind of attracted to them because empaths, like I said, you got to be careful because empaths and narcissists are attracted to each other. It's kind of like something to do with the energy and something to do with the nostalgia, something to do with when you're under the spell. In the very beginning, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like once you've kind of like fully woke up and have been, dragged through the mud and, through all the BS. But so I'm just going over real quick. This is kind of what happens when a super empath that's starting to wake up to their intuition finally and starting to understand that this is the same mold as what they've been dealing with. They start to kind of like understand, because they started out with giving them the benefit of the doubt again, just like the other ones. But they're starting to say, now it starts to hit them right in the forehead that this you can't do anymore because this is never going to change. And there's something going on here, because how could they be running the same mold, the same type of mannerisms, just the same type of weird, like it's the energy. Okay, it's the energy in their actions, the way that they carry themselves. You start to see that it's the same as it's from the familiar spirit. Okay, it's almost like the familiar spirit got a different body. It upgraded a little as far as its intellect so that it can, work harder at getting you right. But it can't change its energy. In fact, the energy actually is a little bit more deceiving too, because they got to be more deceiving if they're going to try and take you down again, or try to take you down, because they never really took you down. They've been on a constant effort to take you down, take you under. But you just kind of, you've been defeating these things, not really defeating them, but you've been walking away from them at some point in time, each and every time, and you've been rebuilding. But at this point in time, you start to wake up, and you kind of peep game. You don't really say anything on this new one, because you've been seeing it around, and you're starting to know that it walks and talks like all the other ones. But the other ones, you had spent 10-15 years with them, okay, and nothing changed in all that time. The only thing that changed was the mask. Everything that changed was that it just hurt you, and nothing ever went anywhere. Even the first argument that you got into, you never even got to the bottom of that in the whole 10 years you were with them. Okay, so this is not going to change, but it's kind of like the narcissist is the same way. The narcissist is actually attracted to the empath in the same way. It could be destructive. This is now for the narcissist is addicted to the empath regardless, the super empath regardless, if they're going to get in destruction or not. But the empath only will do it mainly. They have an attachment to them in a sense, like there is some sort of pull there, and that may always be there, so you got to be careful. But knowing who they are and what they are makes you not even like it at all. Okay, so for us, it's just kind of using our common sense and letting our good energy flow, so that we know that with that and our discerning of spirits and everything, that this is not for us, but it's another trap from the enemy. Finally, we're starting to figure this out. And so what happens is, but you will still go down this path with them for a short time, because you're kind of like you're kind of a little curious, because you're waking up to this and you want to see what is going on. I'm going to use this as like a situation to where I can kind of view this individual and you know, kind of see where it goes. But now I have more open eyes is kind of the idea. And you know, so as you'll start to see them, you're going to start catching them in all of these red flags, one right after another. But you know, you feel like that you have a lot of power over this at this point because you're waking up. So you're kind of working on like a covert level in a sense, but not to be like evil. You're doing it because you want to just understand this pathway in this individual. Because at this point in time now, before you were trying to help them and everything, but now you're starting to look at it from more of a realistic view, that you know it's not going to change, but you're also interested in why they keep coming to you and why they starting to look the same. This is really odd. And so what happens is you get kind of intertwined in something with them when the narcissist knows that you're waking up, and they still can't help it because they love your fuel so much. And so they know you're real too, you know. I mean, you're like the real deal. You're like the Evander Holyfield, the real deal, you know. That's what they used to call him in the boxing arena. But anyway, so then you start seeing them and stuff, but you start catching them in all these lies. Like they're not really getting they're not getting ahead of you in any which way. You're starting to call them out on everything. And, but that's, you know, how you start to really understand, and then you're starting to look some things up and learn the construct. And then you start to catch them on everything. And what happens is then they want to get married real quick because they can't help it. They